Now, I've got multiple sclerosis. That's why I'm in the wheelchair. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that because it's a disease which is very common. It's the most common neurological disease out. And a lot of people, when they get it, write themselves off. Now, it's not necessary to do that unless you've got an absolutely rampant form of it. And even then, it can stop just like that. But my relapsing and remitting form of multiple sclerosis comes around every so often. I've had about 8 or 9 full-blown attacks of it. Now, forgive the fan on my computer, it's getting a bit excited, but we'll just let it cool off a bit. The big problem with multiple sclerosis for me was pain. I had a great deal of pain all the time I was playing in orchestra, and it felt as if I was having glass plates stuck through my body. Nobody knew about it, of course. I didn't even know at that point I'd got multiple sclerosis. But there's not much you can do about it until you find a decent acupuncturist. And when you've got the one that suits you, he can work marvellous. And that paresthesia, the sensations that are coming from the dead nerve endings, this can all be resolved. And I've lived a relatively pain-free life for many years since then. Now, one of the problems for gentlemen is urinary incontinence, or at least you get a feeling of imperiosity, they call it in French, to go to the toilet, and there's no toilet around, of course, in Paris or Amsterdam. And what can you do? So they've invented things like this, Pennilex, and these are like condoms with a sticky surface which will glue onto your penis, and you can pull it out like that. You can see it. The penis will fit inside that, and that will fit onto a bag which you strap onto your leg, and that will fit onto there. Take the top off it, and you fit that over there, and you can go around quite happily with that for some hours, and you don't have to go rushing to the toilet or rushing to find a dark alley. There's another form made by Convene, which is a sticky sort of sheath there, and this will also roll over your penis, and then you can have the whole thing, and it'll roll like that. I don't want to do it too much because they're quite expensive. Anyway, think about that. Don't just go around. I bought a piece of drain pipe and connected it up to a bread bag, and used to use that all the time. But eventually I found they actually made these things. I didn't have to make one myself. But you can find a solution. Now, for ladies and things, I'm afraid I don't know what the solution is. I didn't like the idea of having a catheter in me, and so the Pennilex and the Convene were very good solutions. But I'm sure that there is probably something for ladies that would make life easier. And anyway, the trouble is when you want to rush to the toilet and you can't walk very easily, that's the last thing you can do is to run around, go look for places. So it's tough. Now, one of the more embarrassing forms of incontinence is fecal incontinence. And when you're on the tram or something and you find you've just got to go, there's nothing you can do. Often you don't feel it, just comes out. So you have to wear a nappy or something like that. But an acupuncturist can treat that very effectively as well. And I've never had any problem with that since I had the first attacks. I got that treated with acupuncture, and if it ever comes back, the acupuncturist just treats it with 1 or 2 sessions. It's gone. So think about that as well as a way of treating it. Now, all acupuncturists here in France have to be qualified doctors, and then acupuncturists as a secondary study. So that's very important that you go to see a doctor who is able to do all that sort of stuff. I've eliminated milk and dairy products for the most part. The only milk I do drink is soya milk, which is quite palatable now, and goat cheese. That's doesn't have the same effect as cow milk has. So I've changed all that. That has made it all that. That I take aspirin for my heart fibrillation, and that's been very effective to reduce the possibility of strokes. And in order to reduce the inflammation, I take 6 capsules of evening primrose oil every day, and that's made my skin look a lot better because it used to be pretty spotty before then. It's nice. Try that if you can afford it as well. So it's been about 28 years since the onset of the first symptoms of what eventually turned out to be multiple sclerosis, and eventually, after 15 years of working in the orchestra, I had to give it up. Big decision for me, because getting into an orchestra is hard enough, but getting out of it is just dead easy. So it was a big blow for me. I've now resolved all those problems, and I don't have the perpetual tunes in their head that most musicians have. It's nice and quiet for once. Anyway, any problems with multiple sclerosis, don't hesitate to contact me. And if you want to speak in private, well, we can arrange it by email. Okay, thanks very much.